Well, with that being said, welcome to the inner room with Out of My Damn Mind. This is the space where walls fall away, where stories don't just get told, they land messy, real, and alive. Here, writers open the door to what drives them, what haunts them, and what keeps them going. Every voice has its own rhythm, its own scars, its own sparks, and together we trace the threads that hold us, break us, and connect us all. It's only fitting, in my opinion, to close out July with this beautiful, precious human. My friend, thank you for joining me.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
I
Definitely.
was I was like, I can't have a live on my birthday per se because it's a Sunday, but this feels like the right person to kind of bring in my birthday week. So, uh,
That's so sweet. Yes,
I- and
definite.
this is the last time I will talk about me in this conversation. No, just kidding. But Ashley, Tavis, Damien, Libra, thanks for joining. If you're new to this space, unlike Beautifully Broken, what I do is I come up with 20 curated questions for my co-host. So today we're gonna have some fun. Are you ready?
Yes,
Are you sure?
I am. I
Are you nervous?
am.
I feel like I'm
No,
nervous.
I'm excited. I'm ready to get this out.
She's like, yes, all right. So we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna start off with something and then we're gonna detour to something else. You ready? You recently
Mhm.
celebrated your 4-year heroin free. Looking back, what's something you've gotten back that addiction had taken from you?
Well, that's like everything. It steals everything. It steals your dignity. It steals your self worth. It steals your sense of just being content with life. It steals your peace. It steals your most of your happiness because you do have a little bit, but not much. So
Is it like false
everything.
happiness that you feel like you have? Because I feel like the reason why I did the drugs that I did was because I felt better than when I wasn't. But it wasn't like I was actually healing anything so that I could actually feel good. I was just,
Oh yeah, no,
you know,
total false happiness. But in that moment, the false happiness absolutely felt real. Like
right.
happiness over scoring a bag. The dealer picking up on time. Like, I mean, those would things will make you very happy.
Yeah, it is very frustrating to get a hold of your dude and he's not answering the phone. Or he tells you, I'll be there in 10 minutes, and it's like 30 minutes later, you're like, my guy.
Especially
you
when
know?
you're puking and throwing up and
Yeah, it's not
the
it's not
whole
fun.
nine because it's not fun.
Yeah, no. So what is one thing out of all the things that you've gotten back that you really appreciate right now?
Just my sense of security. I
Mhm.
never had a sense of security. I never had my own house. I never had a bill in my name. I never bought groceries, like, you know what I mean? Any of those things. And then all the places that I did live, it was all contractual. I'll keep the house clean, I'll cook dinner, or even worse, trading sex work
Yeah.
for a place to live. So housing security, that's like the biggest thing, and it's all mine and I do it all myself. Like I don't need, that's a huge part, because you have to rely on so many people when you're in your addiction that you don't ever think, or I didn't ever think that I would be able to maintain this.
If I was there, I'd give you a big hug because this is like the little moment that I want to like hand you your flowers and tell you I am so proud of you. You're doing an amazing job on your journey, and I can't wait till you say, "Oh, 12 years, 22 years, whatever." If you continue to keep track of
Right?
it, I'm going to be one of your biggest fans, okay? You know.
Thank
So,
you.
if you haven't heard it today, you are amazing and you should be very proud of the life that you've continued to develop for yourself as well as for your son. So, you know,
Yeah.
I appreciate you, my friend. Sarah,
Thank
Wayne,
you.
Stuart, thank you all for joining. No, thank you. Okay, because you're showing people what is possible. Like, because we all feel like in our lowest moments that this is all that we got. Like, this is all that we can be, and you're like
Oh,
literally writing it like, that's a lie. That's a lie we tell ourselves to stay in the same comfortable places that aren't even comfortable or good for us. What we can have is the things that we want to have if we continue to work hard toward it. It does take work. I didn't you had your days probably that you were like, why am I doing this? It would be much easier to just go back to what I knew than
no.
no?
No,
Good
no,
for
look, it was
you.
so bad. That's why I feel so like it was so bad that there's never a day where I'm like, there's just, it just doesn't, I can't. Like, it was so bad. It was so bad.
Well, I'm glad that it's gotten I'm glad that it's gotten so much better, my friend. You went
Man,
in your recent piece,
oh,
you wrote that you didn't even think to take a picture because you were too busy living in the moment. When you realized that afterward, what did it mean to you?
it was a little bit of like I kicked myself in the butt because I really did want to take a picture of us on the beach. But then when I realized why I had forgotten, it was like, full circle moment. Because my son, he's always like, why are you always got to take pictures? And it's like, I feel like if I don't take pictures, I don't have proof that it happened. But I don't need that proof anymore. Like,
Mm,
this is my life now.
mm. I love that. I mean, I have that same battle with just like myself when even it's just my dog. I'm like, oh, do I have enough pictures of my dog so I can remember all the different life stages that I get to experience with him in his short lifetime, you know? And I joke around it all the time, like if we don't video it or if we didn't take a picture, did it even happen? Like that's the life that we kind of feel in. But I do think that there's
Yeah.
something super special about just being in the moment and appreciating the moment that you don't feel compelled to take a picture.
It was so
So that's
great. It was so great. We were just relaxed. It was so comfortable.
Aw. Well, I'm glad that you had that moment, and I hope you have many more. Doug, thanks for joining. Grudging, thanks for joining. Sarah says, "I love what y'all do." So we love that you continue to show up in these spaces with us. The begrudging dispatch says, "And here I planned on not being active in this chat and just listening while I write and do some things." Well, I guess now you have to participate because Sarah
Uh,
made you say something. So thanks for being
I'm a
here.
chat monster too, so it's fine.
Well, we're just getting started, so you have plenty of time to either just listen or participate. But we do appreciate when people, share their thoughts in the chat. Feel free to take advantage of that. Wayne says, "Way to go, friends!" Yes, we love
Thank you
beautiful.
very much.
We love beautifully broken. Um, you also wrote that you don't dwell on the past, but you don't forget it either. Why is remembering still important to you?
It keeps the gratitude real fresh.
Mm.
The gratitude is always fresh because I'm constantly mind blown by like just how great everything is. But that, yeah, that's definite. It keeps the gratitude very, very fresh.
I feel like that is the first time I've heard of that perspective, and I can very much appreciate it. Because sometimes I'm like, why am I still remembering things? Like, why are these things still in my space if they've been like a decade old or whatever? But to think of it of a perspective of, well, they're there to remind me of how grateful I am of where I am today, is something super beautiful. So thank you for giving that to me, my friend. I would I was like, look at you say. I was like, that was an amazing answer. I don't want to hear shit after this conversation. You telling me that you didn't make good answers. That was beautiful.
Uh,
Just so you know. Sarah says that's a good way to think about it. So yeah, that is thank you. You did just describe spending the day with your dad as freedom. What does freedom feel like today that it couldn't have felt like 4 years ago?
it's okay. So heroin is a chain. It's a ball. It's a chain. It keeps you in one place. Your mind is focused on one thing. You don't have any time or any care to do anything else. And so now that that weight is gone, I live life like, I don't know. I'm free to be in ways that I could have never been on heroin. Like,
Mm.
it's just not possible. It's just not possible when you're
Do you
strung out
think
on dope.
do you think people that have never experienced heroin understand what that is like for somebody?
Well, no, you can't understand what it's like to be living in a tent in the center of an overpass, shooting dope. Like, you can't you can like think like, damn, that would suck or that would be really shitty. But like, where's the first place you would go to brush your teeth? You know, where's the first place you would go to charge a phone? Do you have places where you know you can get food? Like, I mean, it's just, you know, it's like, it's a big struggle.
It's a whole different survival game, no? Like it's a completely
Yeah.
different survival game than most people experience. I only ask that question because sometimes I'm like, I think people forget that it's still a human, you know? Like I think
Yeah.
people when they walk down the street or see somebody, because now homelessness is something that's so heavy that doesn't automatically correlate to, oh, they must be a
Mhm.
drug addict. Like no, they just lost
Right.
their job and they couldn't survive in this world. Like they like nothing too. So I think sometimes, so I guess my point of asking it was more of, it shouldn't really matter, if you've experienced or not. You should be able to still see the human in that. And I couldn't even imagine having to worry about where I was brushing my teeth or washing my hair or getting my food or anything like that. So that's
Yeah, but it's
definitely
like you don't even care about the human your own self. You know what
mm,
I mean? Like you don't care about the temple. You don't care about the inner workings up here. You don't care about is how I am here coming out here. Like you don't care about any of that. It's just what can I do? How can I scheme? And so you forget your own humanity. Like for how many years did I just throw myself away, only to find that this is extremely easy. Like for me, getting to this point has been so easy that I often kick myself in the ass. Like, the fuck? I struggled for so long. Like, you know what I mean? So you're lost. Like, you're just lost.
mm.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, I think that's a huge perspective to be provided. I just, like I said, I just wonder, like, if people that walked by you, if anybody had said something to you in a way that made you identify your own humanity, if it would have helped at all in helping you
Mm-mm.
get to where you are today. No, you had to, you think everything had to
The
be.
only So, like, okay, counselors in jail, you know, when you're actually clean and people are speaking life over you and telling you, you know, you have potential, there is something bigger than yourself out there. You kind of believe it a little bit because you have a sober brain. So that's the only time that, like, I don't know, people spoke something good over me. It never happened on the streets. You know, just a random person walking by is never going to be like, oh, I'm so sorry, you know, but you're beautiful and, you know, you have a purpose. It just doesn't happen. At least it
Hmm.
never happened to me.
No, I don't think it happens in this world, period. I don't think most people walk up to a random person struggling on the street and ask them about themselves. Maybe that's a side thing that I can do. Because I would be so interested, because at the end of the day, I still see humans. Like I still see people. I still see, somebody in there that
Mhm.
has probably things that they're just avoiding dealing with, and maybe nobody spent a second to ask them a question about them, or maybe nobody cared enough to give them a hug, despite what they looked like or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So I just it's a more of a me playing, like, what is the world that I would like to live in. Like I wrote a silly note yesterday. I was like, I do a lot of walking with my dog. What do people do when they pass by another person walking on the street? And most people are like, smile, maybe,
Mhm.
or just like keep going and not pay attention. And I'm just like, well, what would I want? I want somebody to say hello, good morning, afternoon, hope you're having a great day. Like, meet me with some fucking energy, not like,
Yeah.
mm. There's
Usually I
another
do.
human.
I'm a mix of both. It's you to either I'm going to say good morning to you or I'm going to be looking straight at the ground because like I'm not in people mode. You know,
Mm.
it just depends on how I'm feeling because I can be super friendly and I can also be don't.
Well, no,
You
I
know?
I was calling myself out because I feel like sometimes I'm very closed off, and I don't want to like make eye contact with you. I don't want to feel like this awkward like hello, and we're never, just to
Right, right. We don't
be
need it.
polite, right? And then there's a lot of people that just walk right by me and they don't look up or try to pretend to even like hi, smile, or wave or anything. So I'm like, why am I? But I'm in my head. I'm like, why is this such a struggle? This should just be common knowledge. Everybody should just know to say hi if you're walking by somebody on the street. But then I'm like, everybody in Manhattan ain't saying, hey, 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 because there's people everywhere. So it's just like, there's gotta be, you know. But these are the things that my
Uh,
brain thinks about when I'm just walking my dog. Like, ooh, what is the interaction supposed to be like, and why have I overcomplicated it in my head? Because I feel like it's not universal. Not everybody does the
right.
same things, you know.
It's
Uh,
universal on boats. If you're out on
yes.
a boat and like you pass another boat, you wave.
I mean, I think
Like
it's.
they all do.
I think a lot of people that ride motorcycles that would be the same thing,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Jeep people apparently have calling for each other. So when they see another Jeep, there's a way to say hello. No, you
Nobody's
don't you
gave me the color.
you don't ever get a Jeep.
And I have a duck on my dashboard. They're haters.
Really? You do, and you have a duck,
I have a decoy ducky so I could get duckies.
and nobody gives you duckies. That's great.
Not
All right,
one.
all right. We're gonna have to change that. That's crazy. Uh, real quick, Calibrated Chaos said, "So this is the face being beautifully broken." Yes, this is the amazing, beautifully broken. Sarah says, "I grew up with parents who have addiction. When I see your work, beautifully broken, you give me hope. You give me perspective. You give me a
Oh,
perspective I never thought of when watching things like that." Yeah, she does. I don't think Beautifully Broken understands her impact at all. So she's an amazing human. Uh, Ask the psychopath. Thanks for joining. Tava says, "Sure enough, in my time on this platform, this is the first time I'm hearing you both speak. BB, Chip, and I are so proud of how far you've come. And when we see the X days of sobriety, it brings Chip so much joy." He tilts his head and says, "Good for her. We need to book these dams uh, on our future show." I love the content. I love the conversational flow you both have and the banter, folksy and soothing, like the cool aunties who would cut a meanie.
I love him. It's
You would cut a
cute.
meanie. Chip is adorable, but I love
He
Tavis too.
is.
He's a great person to have on in this community. The secret ingredient, Alex. Thanks for joining. Um, all right. Reading your piece, I kept thinking this wasn't just about heroin. It was about getting your life back. Did that resonate with you when you were writing it?
Yeah, that's like, you know, the for anyone still struggling, because that's always my hope. If I put something out there, it's that someone who was in my position thinking that they could never have any of this, that this life isn't for them, they'll never be able to get clean, that it is possible. Like the worst of the worst can do it, so can you. So when I wrote that piece, that's mostly what it was, meant to do. It was meant to show myself, um, give myself some like, I don't know if gratitude's positivity,
Mm.
just like kind of because it was great. Like it was so good, and was so bad before. So like, that was the purpose, to show people you can change your life around, like 100%.
I love that. Yeah, I mean, I love that you have been given in this lifetime the polar opposites to continue to have gratitude for what other people would say is, that's just that was just a normal day every day for me. Like some people think going to the beach with their dad is very normal, common, whatever. But
Well,
be
for
able to take
those
it from your
people,
perspective and listen to the way that you communicate that experience is, you know,
who it is just a regular day at the beach, I hope they can look and see someone who lost everything and got it all back. Like, of course it is just a random day at the beach, but not for this girl, like, and then for all the people who are still struggling, they're like, wow, that could be me. There is hope. So that's how I feel about
no, absolutely, no, 100%, absolutely. And you know what? I think it's the other side of that for me is like people that do just think it's just another day of at the beach with their parent or whoever. Maybe would find a little bit more gratitude in the ability to have that because that isn't everybody's day, and not
that.
everybody has that experience. So maybe you
Yeah,
also help
because
them.
find some happiness.
Yeah, yeah. So reading that piece, it made me wonder: do you think addiction is the only way we can lose ourselves, or have you found there are other ways too?
I mean, depression, is a good is a close runner up, I would say, for for people like poor mental health is really the closest to like struggling with addiction. At least if I was trying to like match it with something, because no, there's really nothing. Like even illness, that's not your fault. Like say you have like a real bad, illness or something, like that's
Yeah.
not your fault. um
Right.
Addiction's a little bit, I don't feel like I feel like
I feel
it
like it's
is
not
and it
anybody's.
isn't. Like,
You might make the first decision, but I do think that genetics play a role in it. I do think that mental health plays a role in it. I don't think it's always the addict's fault either. But I do think after a certain point, people may assume that, well, you're choosing this and not understanding how it is affecting your body and everything else. And it's not as easy to just step away from it, you know?
no one had the conversation with me when I was little. Like, I knew that my mom was strung out and I knew her situation was bad because I could feel the negativity. I could hear the negativity. I know it was bad. Obviously, it was bad. Um, but no one said, be careful because that could be you because of X, Y, and Z.
Right.
Like no one had that conversation with me. So, like I don't, maybe had I would have known, things could have been different. I would have stayed away. I don't know, but
I don't know. I mean, I can only speak from my own experiences. My mother is somebody who doesn't drink because she watched her father when she was younger drink a lot, and that made her like negative, have a negative, so she doesn't really drink. But then there are people that can watch their parent do something and think it's okay because that's literally they've always that's the example I've had, and then have the complete. So
I
I think
mean, I've
I
had the go ahead.
no, I'm just saying like it could go either way, and I think whatever way it goes is the way that it was supposed to go, even if it is hard for somebody. But what you're
Well,
proving is that
yeah.
now there's a peace, there's a calm, there's a respect and gratitude for the life that you do have that is beautiful in its own little way. So I mean, sometimes we need shitty things to happen so that we can be grateful for the things that we do have.
Yeah, and what I was gonna say is, I tell my son that, like, bro, you understand, like, you can't at all, like,
Yeah.
your predisposition to really bad shit. Like, I mean, his dad and me both. So, I don't know. I feel like they should have, and because they didn't, I will.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but because of that, that's why you're going to have different conversations with your son and be a little bit
Yeah.
probably more there. And even if you see like he might be depressed or he might be anxious or he might be dealing with his own stuff, well, you're gonna have support. You're not gonna have the opportunity or ability to just go do what everybody before you has. We're breaking the cycle. That's what you're here for, right?
Right. Right. What I feel like would have helped me, I'm gonna make sure my kid absolutely
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
and
but
that's
without
still a
that
work in progress.
experience, you wouldn't know to do that. Which is that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's so hard. It's things like even the worst parts of our lives can be some like you could kind of find the beauty in it because you could figure out the lessons and the ways that you can improve somebody else's life because of it. You know?
Yeah. Like my kid, he already like I would never have had the confidence or security to pick up the phone, call my dad, and be like, "Hey, can you take me to this rap concert? It is 2 hours away, in a whole nother state." Like I would have never felt safe enough to do that. But my son does, so that made me feel
Oh,
good.
that's the thing.
Seriously, like just
That,
that, that makes me know like he's
yeah,
secure,
yeah.
because
Well, that's
I
like
know why I was scared to ask.
right.
I know why I didn't.
Right. Well, that yeah. I mean, I think it's beautiful the way that you can find these things that other people probably would just kind of like mow over, like, what the hell? This kid's crazy. I'm not taking him nowhere. But like you see it as he feels so secure and comfortable and safe to even ask me, and like that's a beautiful thing. So I think the way that you're able to see life is actually gonna is pretty amazing. Is going to continue to build the relationship that you have with your son. Real quick, the secret ingredient says hope is a good kind of dope. Absolutely.
Yes.
Calibrated Chaos said, "People are so judgmental. You never know why fate takes us down certain paths." Absolutely. Remnant, thank you
Mhm.
for joining. Heather, thanks for joining. She says, "Break the cycle." Yeah, I mean,
That part.
yeah, I think that's what you're definitely here to do. Um,
Mhm.
when we were talking before today, you mentioned wanting to share your experience of breaking your trauma bond with Chris. What made you feel like now was the right time to tell that story?
Well, just because I have the opportunity, because like I said, like, okay, so let me say why. So I don't have the opportunity to share in my own life with any of my family because they think the trauma bond was severed 4 years ago. So, like, I've been like, this is my worst addiction. You know what I mean? Like,
And it's a person.
still
And it's a person.
manipulating, still lying, still sending him money when he was in jail. Like, you know what I mean? Just all these things, and then keeping it all secret. So just having the chance to actually talk about it, just puts it down that much solid, much more
Mm,
solid, or
mm.
solider.
um,
It's more.
whatever you want to say. It's your show. I'm just living in it. Well, no, that I mean, again, that makes sense. And we spoke briefly before going live, and I feel like this is something that a lot of us can find some resonance in. We can't really understand or figure out why we become so connected with certain people, and I think, like I said, some of us like to overshare with other people in our lives, and then they become judgmental on the relationship, and they're only getting whatever perspective you're sharing instead of just continue to be open by it. So then we kind of burn the bridge to be able to continue to talk about it because we like, oh, they already don't like them, so we already know what we're gonna get, right? So I love having the opportunity in this space that you feel safe enough to be able to share something that I think we've all kind of experienced, if not once, multiple times in our lives, honestly. So why don't you take us back a little bit? When you first met Chris, what kept you invested in the relationship?
So when I first met Chris, he had the car, he had the ideas, he had the places, you know what I mean? I was just that loyal, I'll go anywhere you go. Um and so I mean, because he was faithfully supplying the drugs, like I didn't have to, like he took apart the air conditioner. All I had to do was take it in. You know what I mean? So like he was just a catalyst to getting high, keeping me high.
So why but why do you so with that being said, you weren't attracted to this person for any other reason besides what
Oh,
like
I
there
mean,
was
yeah, he was
yeah.
like he was good looking. I mean, he was good looking. Okay, so yeah. I mean,
I said if you want to be
you
real, like
know,
I'm gonna make you be a little bit real about it. Like it that might have been why you
again,
continued to stay in it, but there had to be something that you were drawn to by him besides that, no?
so I feel like we had the type of love that most people only dream about. Like we did everything together. We worked together, we used together, we, did licks together, everything. And we never got sick of each other. It was like constantly 24/7, just being around a person. But then you start thinking and you're like, that's a totally warped view because of all the bad that was like intertwined with it. So, you have one hand where you think like you have this perfect relationship, and then the other hand, you're ignoring all the abuse, all the, bad cycles just to keep getting high another day with someone and is confident is going to have a place for you to sleep, drugs for you to do. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I followed him. I It was a lot of following. He was
Uh,
security.
how many years were you and Chris Bonnie and Clyde?
Um, We were together for 8 years. Separated for a couple, just this last bit. We got together when my son was 9 months old. So Braden's 13 this year. And we just broke up this past July, June. No, May. May.
That's like it's been a little bit. So now that you
Yeah,
have
it's
now that you've kind of severed those ties more permanently, what is something that you were most proud about?
um, waking up to what I had normalized. I normalized a lot of abuse. I mean, I'm not going to say he was the only one to throw a punch because that is not the case. But I normalized everything, everything that happened to me, like, oh, that's fine. You still love me. You're still here. We're still together. Our bond is still strong. So I ignored a lot. I normalized it, said it was fine.
I mean, I did that in my recent relationship, so and there was no drugs involved. I think we all have sometimes blinders on to people that we care about or feel connected to in whatever way, and I think a lot of
I
us
don't know.
have.
I can't tell you why about a lot of things. I can't tell you why, this happened or why that happened.
Yeah.
I just know that like we're here after years of finally, thinking that everything was okay for the longest time. The straw that broke the camel's back. He has an aggressive dog. He took the dog into Wawa, and I guess the cashier lady like said something to him, and he's like, "Oh, I am waiting on his paperwork. He's a service dog. His paperwork is coming in the mail." And I was so disgusted that he lied to this cashier about this dog that he just brought into Wawa. Like that was it. That was what I was like, never again. And I never spoke to him again after that.
Mm.
Literally. Isn't that
Well,
weird?
I
Isn't that
mean,
weird?
I don't think anything
So
is
I
weird.
can't tell you why.
I don't think anything is weird. That's fine. You don't have to tell them why. I'm just saying I think a lot of us ignore red flags or normalize things for multiple reasons. I don't want you to feel like you're the only one that did that. Like I've done that. I'm sure there's people in this chat that's done that. And it may not be the same context, but it's at the end of the day, it's still the same shit. Like we stay in relationships that we think are benefiting us, but are really every day we're being shown red flags, but we're just normalizing them. We're just ignoring them. We're just moving past them because there's something else that we're more interested in. We as humans, I feel like we do that with anything, honestly.
And
Um,
what kind of hope was I carrying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you're gonna get clean and you're gonna like show me that you have, multiple months of clean time, and then like what then? What then? You can't come here. I'm not going there. Like, it just
I think life just made it really, really visible for you that
really
this
clear.
wasn't, yeah, this
Yeah.
wasn't the direction that you wanted to keep going in. And I think, you know, a lot of us sometimes ignore what we're seeing. So I'm glad that you got the memo, my friend. Calibrating Chaos does say you're unpacking a lot here today, so she appreciates your vulnerability. As do I, my friend, as do I. Um, did you ever
As
catch
long as I don't
yourself?
sound crazy trying to sing,
Even if you did, who cares? I don't even know what crazy means,
it's fine.
right? Yeah.
It's fine.
Uh, do you ever catch yourself missing the relationship even though you knew it wasn't good for you?
I mean, yeah, all the time, but not now. Not now. Not now. I really fully like see it for what it was. But before, I mean, he had literally choked me to unconsciousness, like choked me out, like passed out, right? And when I woke up, like everything was fuzzy. I didn't know where I was. I'm like touching the carpet, trying to figure out like where in the fuck I'm at. And then I can see again, and he's standing in the frame of the door, just like leaned against the frame, just staring at me, crawl around on the ground. Like, you just choked me within seconds of my life. And that happened years ago, like
Mhm.
years ago. So that's like, I mean, and I stayed like, oh, that's fine, because I'm aggressive, like I'm aggressive. And why did he choke me out? Because he was in a recliner and I flipped him out of it. Do you
Yo,
understand what I'm saying? So, like,
yo.
but that's
I mean,
not even,
it still doesn't warrant him doing that. Like, come on,
exactly.
you know. But I get what you're saying. But to me, it's like I'm aware. I'm glad that you're aware of who you are and your own aggressive tendencies, and maybe that's why you were met with even more aggressive versions of it. But it still doesn't make anything like okay, right? This is gonna sound crazy. Do you? Was there any part of you that you saw in him?
Well, yeah, he was the male version of me, and I was the female version of him.
Do you think that's why
Literally,
you guys were able to spend every day together because you were more like each other than maybe you might have originally voiced?
like-minded, one direction.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely,
Hmm.
absolutely. And I mean, in my eyes, like, he's hot. He's still hot. Just because we're not together, his hotness isn't going to disappear. But, like, he's not. I don't want him.
Well, be honest, some of us addicts do not age well, especially depending on how long you were doing whatever you were doing. So the fact that he is still
That
hot
part.
is kind of,
Well, it's starting to catch up. It's starting to catch up. I've seen a couple pictures where I was like, that's not the same. But neither
it
am I either.
depends.
So,
Well,
whatever.
yeah, I mean,
You
change is
remember we were in our
evolution is always going to happen. But women are like wine; we just get finer with time. That's what I hear. So,
like, I knew I should have done this so long ago. Like, made this exact choice, but I didn't. And I kept the pictures and I kept the everything. I don't know what I was holding out for, but it feels really good to have them all gone. I deleted all of them.
so I did have a question that said, "What made leaving so much harder than simply deciding to leave?" And I feel like I don't know
Um, I was
because
holding on to
you were already clean, right? So
this being comfortable with being alone, like really comfortable being alone, has really came about within the last like year and a
mm,
half. Because when I first came home from jail, I was still seeking like relationships, sex, these things, because I thought that that was like the next right step where I was supposed to be. And who better in my brain than someone who's been through all the bullshit, like, if he got clean. So I think I was just holding on to the hope that, like, he's going to get clean. But it just finally got to the point where, like, I don't even care if you get clean. Like, I just don't even want it in my life. Like,
right.
no, no.
Hmm.
It's too much nonsense. Just nonsense. I'm just over it. Like, finally over it.
Well, I'm happy for you. It's definitely going to be a new chapter for you, and your love life moving forward will probably be a little bit healthier. So that's good. I don't
Yeah.
know that I've ever been in a relationship with a fellow addict, like as an addict. So I feel like I just know about narcissists, and I think a lot of people also question people that stay in relationships with narcissists, like why, why wouldn't you just leave? And I don't think people understand just the way that it's not always that easy, and yeah, hope plays a role, and wanting somebody to be the version of themselves that you think that they're capable of plays a role, and then there's grief, right? Like you have to come to the realization, well, that they're not actually going to do that.
And I cried so hard.
Yeah.
I cried so hard. It was like a nowhere, out of nowhere cry. Like, it broke like boogie snot tears, like nose stopped up. And I'm not a crier. But ever since then, I felt good.
Well,
Ever since that cry, it's been
it's-
great.
well, crying is a form of release, so sometimes you should allow yourself to maybe do it every once in a while. You know, maybe.
Yeah.
But I think I can answer this for calibrating case, but she acts. So he was both a supplier and user, and yes, is the answer correct? Um,
So not supplier in the sense that like if you mean drug dealer, cause no,
he just
supplier
was.
in like you have to come up with money every day. Like that shit is expensive. You know, you have to come up with hundreds of dollars every day, and people do not just hand it to you. You know, you cannot just ask your mom every day for $100, and that's not even enough. And so supplier in the sense that like he had the balls to go and do all the things, and I had the balls to look out and make sure he was okay, and tag along.
You was
So
your own
that's what
own version of
that's
Bonnie and Clyde. That's all.
They literally told us that when they arrested us in 2017. They literally called us that on the local news. I'm really not even kidding.
I mean, it seems pretty
It was
aligned.
so embarrassing. It was
No,
so
but
embarrassing.
I Buddy and Clyde has a good name to themselves, even though everybody knows what they did. It's okay. It's a part of life, and I think we all have embarrassing moments in life. So don't be silly.
Yeah.
Christopher AF says, in the end, do you see one as being harder to quit? Quit being different in both cases. So I'm guessing, did you like? Is it harder to quit drugs or Chris?
Chris, definitely Chris, because there's a possibility. Like drugs are one thing, if you go that way, you're going to the dark abyss. But he had hope attached to it, hope that he could possibly change. I mean, he got out March 4th. So March, April, beginning of May, Mother's Day weekend. Um, for those 3 months, he was home working, seeing his daughter, like, doing the things. But I'm not there to physically see, so I don't actually really know. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it was harder. I had a hope because of that. Like, so that was definitely, he was definitely harder.
Yeah, people once they're intertwined into our lives, it makes it very hard to detach from them. And I think it's like a proven study with even like our nervous systems and stuff. We there is something that happens within our own bodies when we're around certain humans, and I could totally see letting go of somebody being harder than some like a substance.
Yeah, because like I don't crave heroin, but I still dream of him.
Mm,
Like right now, today. You know what I mean? Like that's not. I don't even have drug dreams. I don't even have dreams where I'm using. Like it's been so. I can't even tell you the last one, even what it was about, because I just don't remember.
right.
Um, and so yeah, that. But I can tell you exactly what the dream about Chris was about. It's very vivid.
Mm,
So it's just, it's like I have to remember that he occupied so much of my life and such a bad portion of my life that I spend such a lot of time celebrating that not being a part of anymore. So, like, he has to have a place, but his place is small. His place is small. He sits in a box. He's just there to be like, see, this is him. This is put a name to the face and then put him back. You know what I
mm.
mean? Does that make sense? Did I
So
explain that good?
it's an interesting perspective for sure. I may not be that way because I'm a whole different person, but I can understand what you're saying. Yes. Do you
Like
think
he's
you're
always going to be there.
well? For as long as you'll carry him.
He's tied to every crime. Like I
Yeah, but
celebrate
like I said, but like I said,
that.
I know, but before we went live, like I said, I do feel like there is a point where a recovering addict no longer brings their past of an addict to them in other stages of their life. So I do believe there will be a point where him and all the things tied to him are no longer things that you
fall
care.
away.
Yeah.
And then that'll be when you can say, you know what, this box, I don't even talk about this guy anymore. I don't even need to show him to people to put a name to his face. So you know what? He can go in the garbage. You
Mm.
know what I mean? Like a
Mm.
purging. If I haven't touched that box in 6 months, it's going in the trash.
You're a lot better than probably most people because I definitely do that with actual objects in my house. I'm like, if I'm not using this, if I don't use this, why am I have it? Like, donate, throw it away. Like, I don't like clutter in my house, so I'm definitely.
Yep.
Oh man, the visual of taking a box of a little doll Chris figurine and throwing it in the garbage is quite fascinating for me though. uh,
It's
uh, do you think
oh,
do you think your experience getting sober gave you tools that helped you leave that relationship?
oh yeah. Because a lot of the reason I stayed was he provided. You know, he found the place to live, he found the place we were going to sleep. He, you know what I'm saying? So now it's like opposite, right? I'm the one doing all those things. And so I don't need you for that. You know, you don't have to do that for me anymore. I'm quite capable of doing it on my own and for way better, for way longer. So
I kind of love
thanks
that
for the
for you.
thanks.
I kind of love that for you. I
Yeah.
really do.
I do. He cared so hard. He was like, Cheryl, you're absolutely fucking killing it. Yes, bitch, I know.
I love that. Clap for it. Yeah.
God,
Oh man.
it feels so good.
No, yeah, I'm sure that felt good
Mm,
too to like know in your heart and soul that you're capable of providing what you need and you no longer need somebody to do that. That's also going to make it
right.
probably very interesting to see if you decide to date in the future of your life, what man is able to stand by somebody who's now discovered their own independence and ability to do for themselves. Because then what
Well,
they
you know
add
what?
to it is
And I
different.
society's got it all twisted, you know, like I haven't figured out the old age part yet. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? I haven't figured that part out yet, but I also have a premonition that when I do meet my significant other, I'm going to be 53. So,
You think it's going to be later in
you
your life?
know,
You really think later in your
yeah, it's
life?
going to be
Yeah.
way later. I got too much to work on, too much to build with my son. Like, there's no room for that. I don't have room for you here. You know,
There's
like
no
that's how I
space.
feel.
Hmm.
It's just
Now I'm
here.
just
Just
like
me and
now I'm just
Chi.
over. Well, now I'm over here just like super excited to continue to watch, or listen or read or be a part of seeing how your future continues to unfold. Because I don't think any of us ever really
Thank you.
knows. But of
No,
course, Alex and Lily, thanks for joining. Oh my God, time is flying this time. Do you feel it, or
I know. I just
do you feel like, oh my God, there's still so much time left? Like I feel like, oh my God, I've already been through 50 minutes of this
yeah, the
conversation.
time would just flew by.
Oh, great, great, great. What's something people often misunderstand about why someone stays in a toxic relationship? From obviously your
So the
experience.
person that stays themselves, that person usually doesn't even know. So the outside person putting you should do X, Y, and Z because X, Y, and Z is clear doesn't work.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like you can tell me all day long till you're blue in the face that this is bad, but until I make that decision on my own, and I don't even know myself. So it was. I'm glad I found out.
It was it's very interesting that you say that because I think I learned from my ex best friend that I think she still struggles with her addiction, unfortunately, down in Florida. Um, I held a lot of guilt. Like I felt very guilty for not being there to help her. And then there was a part of my life where I was like, it didn't matter what I said or anybody said. Like she was always going to do what she wanted to do. And I think that's when I realized that I can't I can't give people advice on how to leave certain things unless they're ready to actually do the things. And that takes that person to really put the work in to do it. I can't make somebody see something that they're not willing to see right now, or believe something that they're not willing to believe because they haven't had proof or whatever the case might be. So yeah, it's
And
definitely.
also how long my addiction went, that was like a long time. So like obviously I have a hard time seeing the clear picture quickly, like
I mean, all of us discover things on our own time. There's no there's no right or wrong in that. But yeah, no, I get that. Like that's what I'm saying.
yeah,
Like I think that's when I realized that, I can't that's why I think I was always the quote unquote bad friend to talk to, because it's just like, like you're coming to me with something, but you already know what you should be doing. You just don't want to do it. So then why are we having this conversation? Like I was like that person that's just like, you already know. Like I know you know. Like I know you know. There's no way that you don't know if you're living it. If you're able to explain to me what's happening, then you know. you know?
yeah, yeah.
So I was I'm definitely a difficult friend. I don't think a lot of people felt comfortable enough to sometimes to come talk to me because they were like, "Oh, she's just gonna tell me what I already know," and I don't want that.
Yeah.
Like some of us like just talking to people just.
Guilty.
well,
Very guilty of that.
well, I'm just saying, you're not the only
Um,
one. And I've probably been it too. I probably don't tell people what I'm going through, because I already know what I probably need to do to fix it, and I just haven't built the courage or capability in my own mind to get through it. So what's the point of fucking talking about it? My
wait,
that's a me thing
wasting time
apparently. But I
where
also,
I already know what to do. Yeah,
yeah, it's
exactly.
like I'm like that I'm gonna listen to somebody tell me it when I've already told myself. Yeah, so a lot of the things that I go through, I don't think anybody really knows about. You know, that's just a me characteristic trait because I already know what I should be doing. I'm not doing it, so I don't need somebody to tell
I'm
me
just
it.
too self-contained. I don't put my if I'm going through something and I need you to and I want you to know it, I'll tell you. But
Mm.
that's not often.
So I guess that begs my I guess the question of, why would you talk to somebody? Is it because you respect them and appreciate them, or because you're suffocating holding it all by yourself? Like, what do you think is leads you to that
Suffocating.
conclusion? Yeah, you just need to kind of like it's like,
Mhm.
I'm done it consuming my brain. I need to finally say it to somebody else.
Yeah. But most of
Yeah.
it I can hold on my own. There's not much um, like I told my sister, like I told you in the beginning, I talked to my sister and I talked to my best friend, and that was it. We talked about it just, real briefly. Um, Emily heard more about it than my sister did for longer. And then she made the comment of something along the lines of like, this is all you're talking about. And I said, this will be the
Mm,
last time.
mm.
Guaranteed. Not a problem. When you are a broken record, living in a toxic environment with a loser piece of shit baby dad, and you reap, I could go on. I could go on. But she's my best friend. We've been best friends since we were fucking kids. So she's like my sister, and.
No, I get it. I get it. There are sometimes that I do that to my sister. I'm very guilty, and then I'm like, oh, I might be an asshole because I'm just like, I don't want to keep hearing the same thing over and over again. Like, oh, have we gotten to the point where we know what we need to do, or are we just saying it to just keep saying it? Like I try to have I'm trying to be better. I try to be better, but like now I kind of can understand where she's coming from, but also like I get it. It's hard. It's hard to like let go of it. It's hard to not talk about it. It's hard when it's something that's been so consistent in your life. But I'm over here like, okay, so if we're talking about it, I think we need to figure out how we're going to continue to get through it, not just talk about it to talk about it.
Right. What are the steps to move forward?
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Like that's where I'm more focused on. So yeah. All right. Well, before we end today, I definitely want to ask at least one more question. If
Okay, go
someone
for it.
listening if someone listening feels like they've lost themselves, whether it's to addiction, a relationship, grief, or something else, What would you want them to know before we leave the room?
Um, that there is a power higher than yourself. And, I encourage you to look for it, find it, because that's where the healing is
Mm.
in any way that you can.
Do you feel like, oh, how do I ask this? Let me get my thoughts together before I try to put this in and then sound like a complete idiot.
Coaching.
uh I'm I'm over here like, do you feel like religion or spirituality or something played a role in your healing journey, like to begin with, like to start it?
Absolutely.
Hmm.
They gave me the book, The Battlefield of the Mind. I read that and I read another one, Power Thoughts. And it was all about being positive in a shitty place. And I was like, I can fucking get down with that. Let's go. And then it was like, treat people good, be treated good. Like, I don't know. The Bible made a lot of sense to me. It started making a lot of sense, the like why behind it.
Hmm.
I don't know. It just changed a
No,
lot for me.
what I hear is I hear that very often. I feel like people either have a spiritual awakening or find God or, discover a new religion that really cracks open something that is aligned with them and that obviously continues to move them. I'm not here to judge whichever one you find, as long as you find one. That's the point of it, right? Um, because there are people that just also believe, you have the strength. You yourself have always been worthy of the things that you're looking for. So you can always turn inwards and try to find that within. Calibrated chaos says yes, the Bible makes so much sense after you've gained life experience, which again isn't, to me, I'm like, isn't the Bible stories of other people's lives and their experiences, and I think you have to live a little bit to understand what other people might be trying to get out of what they're sharing. um Remnant also says Battlefield of Mind is a great book, so
She's and I was like, okay, I can get down with this. She's all right, because I see myself in her, like that hard A personality, black and white thinking, like very stern. I don't know. I just could see myself in her, and I was like, okay, yeah, let's
who
go. We
who
can do
who is
this.
this again? Who is this again? Who are you talking about?
Joyce,
Oh, wow.
Joyce Meyer.
Yeah, I
I
missed the
know,
names of
right?
the
I
stuff.
know, but I just was like, okay, this lady's got good information.
I will say one last thing before I let everybody else say whatever their last thing is. Um, which now I just realized that I completely forgot to do something during this episode because I was just so excited to talk to you, so we just didn't do it, I guess, but that's fine. Um, but I came across a dog trainer 6 years ago that I still to this day has completely inspired and changed my life. And she knows it because I tell her all the time. And then it was so beautiful to see her do a video of the woman that has been inspiring her. And I just like I love that, and I can only hope that one day somebody is like, yo, this bitch Marlena, she is inspiring me. She made me feel like I could do, like, like to be able to pay that towards somebody is super cool. So I'm glad that you found your person that you've aligned with and understands, it helps you understand life a little bit more, because we all need those people, you know? Um I'm so sad. I'm like, my friend. We need to FaceTime soon or something, I guess. I don't know. But
Absolutely.
I hope you know how much I adore and appreciate and the impact that you make, and probably not just in this community, but obviously the community that you live in, because we know how active you are with being a good person with other people that you actually surround yourself with on a daily basis. Um, I can't thank you enough for agreeing to do this with me again. I hope it wasn't torture this time. I've really enjoyed, sharing space with you and being in your energy.
No, it wasn't torture. Just, it's hard for me to get information out in a clear, like, way. And so, anyway, if it seems like choppy or, that's just me. I can't
No,
help it.
I told you earlier you had a beautiful moment. You're super poetic. You're absolutely it provides such amazing perspectives, and I want you to continue to have the confidence to understand how like amazing you are and not self-critique so much, because I think you're a huge value to the space here virtually, but also, what you do in your day-to-day life, and you're well received where you are, my friend. Just know. Um
Thank you.
I had I'm going to read a couple of comments, and then we're going to have to unfortunately say goodbye to all of our friends today. I think when we are ready to hear messages from author stories, the Bible, the birth chart, then the messages make sense. Querying dragon said, I love that. I think that's there's a lot of truth to that. Christopher said, you did great. She did do great.
Yeah,
Begrudging Dispatch commented, this was so wonderful, ladies, and always a pleasure, Marlena. Well, thank you all for joining. It is a semi pretty day here. I hope you guys all have an amazing rest of your day, and tune in, next week when we kick off the August lineup. Oh my God, we're moving so quickly through this
birthday.
year. Yeah,
We're
well,
not glossing over that.
we talked about it in the beginning. That's what I said. That'll be the last time I talk about myself. But I do look forward to future episodes as well. The replay will be available later for anybody that missed this beautiful human who goes by beautifully broken. Yeah, even though I don't think you're broken at all, my friend.
It
Just so you
is
know.
already August.
It's still July 28th, so let's let July live a little bit longer. But it's always a pleasure. I appreciate everybody in the chat. I mostly appreciate my co-host, who's been so amazing. And look how stunning she is. Look how beautiful she is. Look at this lady. Look at her. Look at her.
This is work clothes.
I think you're adorable, my friend. Um, but that
Thank
being said,
you. Ditto.
you've been in the inner room where the conversations go deep, the connections surprise, and the truths linger long after the world quiets down. Until next time, keep listening inward, because that's where the stories that shape us really live. I hope everybody has an amazing day. Bye bye for now.